And now we're going to move into refinement. And refining is just the ways that we get to work smarter, not harder, based on what we now know to be true about ourselves. Whether it is now or whether you've always known, it's neither here nor there. These are just a few examples that I have here listed in text on the left side of refinements that can work so that you can reroute a hefty percentage of the items that are not in your zone of genius in order to maximize the time spent within your zone of genius. So in an ideal world, right, we'd be 60% or more of our time, however you measure time, which can be said as a farce, but neither here nor there as well. If you measure it by day, by week, by month, or annually, however, 60% of that measurement of time would be in your zone of genius. So it's probably kind of crazy and shocking to consider that you could spend that much time in a place where you'd feel fulfilled and passionate and joyous in the way that we're taught to perceive the world around us. But some of those examples, some of the obvious ones, of course, delegate and actually request support. Again, this is one of those ones that probably sounds simple and easy. And yet in working around solopreneurs, entrepreneurs that work for themselves, by and large, many of us don't ask for support when we could really use it, even from a friend that could assist in some way. So simply being willing to receive support is huge. Prioritization, however you do it, if you do it, which again, I think in today's world, the prioritization, 5 things become priority when priority means 1. So creating the framework that works for you. For me, I use the Eisenhower matrix. I also use a Venn diagram that I created for myself that works. So that's what I inevitably do in order to make less of my time go to the lower 2 quadrants. Where can you automate or systematize whatever is in your zones of competence and excellence, especially your excellence can be automated and systematized because, again, it's your comfort zone. So how can you be spending less of your time there so that you can transfer your precious energy reserves for genius? Where can you collaborate instead? So in my competence zone, I think I put web design. I have a friend of mine that is a Wix website expert. She just sits next to me for 5 hours, maybe once or twice a year, and we just do it together. And I can ask her directly. This is super helpful for me. I do want to learn, but I hate doing it by myself. It's also called body doubling if you are neurodivergent. Knowing and exacting your boundaries. Again, an obvious one. And again, not all of us really enact those or know them. So having your boundaries and aiming to stay within your zone of genius as often as possible. What does that look like? It means saying no more often. It means, actually, I don't have the time to do that in this quarter. It's going to have to be at another point, or what have you. Or in an interview process. Actually, if I'm not going to be compensated for this project that actually took me 3 hours to complete, which is definitely a road I've been down, then I'm not going to complete this interview process. And then embracing failure, of course. Everything is a learning game, win or lose and learn, regardless of how you look at it. And just reflecting on where the gap was and doing it better the next time.